Richard Mowatt, otherwise known as DJ Solarstone.
That's me.
Excellent. Thank you for taking the time to talk to Modsnap Radio today.
My pleasure.
I do have a few questions to ask you. We actually caught up with Richard on tour in Austin, Texas. You are promoting a new album release, compilation of various artists, Pure Trance 7. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I can. Well, it's the 7th annual installation of the Pure Trance compilation. It comes out the same time every year. This year it's mixed by myself, Christina Sky from California, and Lostly, he's actually South African but lives in Germany, or he's German and lives in South Africa.
Perfect, yes.
50 brand new tracks, previously unheard, massive A&R nightmare. But it's turned out really, really well, and the hype around it is really, it's much bigger than last year actually. I'm not really sure why, but it's doing really well. It's I think it's number 2 in the overall releases on Beatport. It's 6 in the iTunes dance chart. So it's really, for a trance compilation, it's huge.
Yes, actually I did get a chance to sample the trailer through youtube.com. Actually, I was sampling a few of your tracks. I do follow SoundCloud. I did see you on Mixcloud. You also have a Facebook live stream, a podcast.
Yeah.
Pure Trance
Radio.
Podcast. Yeah, Pure Trance Radio podcast.
Exactly. Yeah. It goes out on all of the usual streaming portals, and we do like a live stream every week. But it also goes out on this quite an extensive FM network around the world.
Okay.
I think we've got like 2.5 million listeners every week.
Wow.
Which is a lot, and the podcast gets a similar amount of downloads every month. So it's in terms of trance, I think it's in the top 5.
Awesome.
After people like Armin and Above and Beyond, people like that.
Yes, but that's still quite a really good standing in regards
for
trance. Yes,
for trance it is. Yeah.
Excellent. You had a release in 1999, a really popular release, 7 Cities, that actually is I want to say a trance anthem in regards to a variety of different factors. However, there is a certain style of sound that you've created. It's something that I've been researching for a while. It's a Balearic style of, that's synonymous with Ibiza. Can you please tell me or elaborate a little bit of, you're a founding father of that sound, and it's a sound that I've been searching for a really, really long time. So now I kind of narrowed down the original kind of producers, and you're one of them.
Well, I didn't even go to Ibiza for the first 5 years of Solarstone's existence. I just loved the music, I like that vibe. It's kind of like, it's melodic and danceable, but it's not aggressive.
Excellent.
It's kind of quite almost acoustic sounding in places.
Yes, sir.
It's got that. Well, it's really hard to describe the sound, right? You know what the sound is when you hear it.
I do, yes, and it's a sound that I search for in a lot of music, even if it's underground house, which I'm really into at the moment. But the sound originated somewhere, and that was another question I had for you: is what was the influence in regards to
my sound?
That sound in particular. I mean,
the guitar kind of thing,
pick, and just it's a beautiful sound. I mean, it's
to be honest with you,
I can still hear it in.
I use it now, I use it now. That sound, shatter your illusions, but that sound came about by accident.
Okay.
I had this idea for the track 7 Cities, and I was literally just playing in the studio, and I had like a really kind of basic sounding synth guitar, and I had this effect rack, and I was just flicking through sounds, and the two sounds together just created this really beautiful, spacious, kind of dreamy sound. Yes. And I just kind of fell in love with it, and I keep going back to it because it's not the kind of sound you can't recreate that sound on VST, on virtual synth, because it's a combination of these two analog kind of sound sources.
Yes.
So I've still got the original synth, which I've had for 20 years, and the effects rack, which creates the sort of the reverby, delayed thing. I've actually bought a spare one of those, just in case the first one broke.
Okay.
So that I could save that effect. So I still use it. I mean, I've used it on the most recent track was Thank You. I used it on that. and I'm working on another track that uses it too.
Awesome.
I try not to overdo it, but it's kind of a bit like Dave Gilmour's, you know, the guitar player from Pink Floyd. Like he kind of uses the same sound in his tracks, so it's kind of my signature.
Awesome. Yes, and very unique in style, and it's very abundant in the trance and all different types of derivatives of the trance sound. But I would like to ask you a few questions about the Pure Trance Movement. Can you elaborate a little bit more about that?
Well, it kind of grew organically out of... It began in early 2011-12 when I was kind of disillusioned with the trance scene, because trance producers and DJs were kind of... Generally, they were kind of like bringing in elements from other types of electronic music and mixing it with trance, like a trance meets house, trance meets techno, Trouse, I think they call it trance meets house, and not many people were kind of producing trance that I considered to be like pure, you know, just trance for trance's sake. I got really disillusioned with the whole thing, and I wasn't getting sent much music that I liked, and I decided to just go back to what I considered to be the roots of the sound and just produce one last album, and that was going to be it for me. That was going to be like my final album, and I did a couple of tracks, a couple of versions of tracks we called the Pure Mix.
Yes.
And it just kind of seemed to strike a chord with other people around the world, you know. I wasn't the only person who felt that this sound was kind of like missing. There were, you know, the Armin started supporting the tracks, and this hashtag Pure Mix started trending on Twitter, and it just kind of grew organically from there. So it started off as me just doing a few tracks, and then it was Pure Mixes in terms of remixes, and then there was my album Pure, and then we launched the label, and then we launched the radio show, and then we launched the compilation, and it became a movement in the trance scene, you know, kind of like the bringing together of all these people who loved this sound that had kind of been missing for a while.
Yes.
And it grew into, I guess it grew into a movement, and that wasn't my description, you know. People like DJ Mag were referring it to this Pure Trance Movement, so it's quite extraordinary, really. I mean, considering that 8 years ago I was completely on my arse, no gigs, no money, you know, split up with my wife, considering giving it all up and doing something else, it's really quite extraordinary that I'm here now talking to you, and Volume 7 of the compilation has just come out, and it's amazing, you know. I feel extremely lucky, and also my partner Paula, she's had a lot to do with the whole thing since day one. So I feel, you know, I'm 46 now and I'm still at the front of the trance scene.
Yes.
So I do feel extremely fortunate, you know.
Yes, and I do understand in regards to the sound that we were referring to earlier, the Balearic style, melodic style, the sound only gets refined with time, and I've heard some of your tracks from 1999, and I've searched through almost a discography of not everything, but I've browsed through a few years, and the sound has refined, and it's only improving, and
it's matured.
Yes, exactly, and that's what happens with artists. They get they perfect their technique. I'd like to talk to you about your set this evening, or your set for this global world tour.
Well, I'm always on tour.
Okay. Well, first
an ongoing thing.
Yes, sir. Well, promoting Pure Trance 7 and the Pure Trance Movement. You mix for. You like to play extended mixes. When you perform live. Most DJs at times for festivals, and I kind of researched why you don't like to maybe play festivals because of the time span. So I guess my point would be what normal DJs would play, where they would play maybe a 1 or 2 hour set. You're actually playing 4 to 6 hours at times. So you're playing actually almost 3 sets to their. I mean, well, they're playing 3 sets to your 1.
Yeah.
And so you really are working hard. I mean, that's a long time to.
Well, it's because the music is the pure trance sound. It's not a particular BPM. You know, it's more of a kind of a feeling. It's more of a kind of a. The music is supposed to like just make you close your eyes, whether it's fast or slow. You know, whether it's hard or soft. And because I've got 3 record labels and the sound spans across from 120 BPM all the way up to 150, there's so much music that I can take people on a journey of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours, and I've got enough music to do so.
Yes.
You know, whereas when you play a festival, you're one DJ fitting into like an hour time slot, and you have to just play the big hits because people aren't there to see you; they're here to see, 10 different DJs. So it's not about taking them on a journey; it's about just giving them kind of, like I said, the big hits.
Exactly, almost like running through or guiding through an experience, and greatest hits, and I'm sure private collection. Do you have what were your early influences in regards to music? It was growing up as an adolescent, where you're absorbing.
It was my mom. My mom was a big influence on me because she played. She was really into like the Beatles and ELO and Supertramp and Genesis and Enya and people like that.
Okay.
And I think you can hear that in my music. Very very melodic stuff with a lot of depth. And also the artwork. She was a really big fan of these gatefold sleeves, and I loved sitting there, reading all the artwork and all the details on the sleeves. And so I've always had a big love of like pop art.
Yes.
So that's something I try to bring into my releases as well.
Awesome. Well, I have reviewed your websites.
The new website.
Solarstone.co.uk.
Well, we only launched the new website a couple of weeks ago. It was offline for like 8 months.
Wow, cool, interesting. I like the graphics. It's pretty easy to navigate.
Yeah.
There's a lot of information in regards to your music as well. You can also follow Solarstone on Facebook, Mixcloud, SoundCloud, YouTube, and purchase some of his most of his tracks on Beatport.com.
Well, they were pretty much all there apart from the really old stuff.
Excellent, excellent. And I really do appreciate your time. Thank you for taking the time to talk to Modsnap Radio today. We'd also like to thank United Trance Radio for collaboration with bringing Solarstone to Austin and keeping the trance scene alive.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm looking forward to enjoying the experience that you're going to guide us through.
Hopefully I'm not going to fuck it up.
Well, I already did a couple times, but it's okay.
All right.
Thank you very much for your time.
No, thanks, buddy.
Perfect.
I hope it sounds okay with all the
I hope so,
noise.
yeah.